It's actually funny how Bijome began. I had no plans to start anything like this, and we used to, as a family, rescue animals, help animals. We love animals, love good food or clean food, talk about it at the dining table like many of us do. But what brought Bijome to actually happen was a horse. We rescued this horse from a shelter and decided to find some land for it, and we didn't know what we had started. That horse brought more animals in, and soon we had more land, a bustling farm. I started learning a lot on the land. I started studying about what is agriculture, what is organic agriculture, what are the types of breeds of cows, how to feed an animal, how to grow crops, what is a crop calendar for the northern plains. If you didn't do chemical fertilizers, use chemical fertilizers, what else will we use? Slowly the knowledge started building, people started coming together. It's unimaginable how a slow community began to form, and before we knew it, we had a bustling farm. And the more I read about the problems in agriculture, the problems with domestic animals, the problems with factory farms, the problems with bad soil, the problems with chemical food, with every step there were more solutions coming up within our own farm. And that's slowly how Bijome evolved into its the avatar that it was in the Noida farm. In the Noida farm, we were just an organic set of shacks and a lovely betak, which was all so beautiful because it had just grown out of the land literally in whatever space we had. And so that's by the time, in about 6-7 years, we started teaching organic farming or natural farming, chemical free farming rather, to people. We started having lots of students and colleges, and the public started visiting us every Sunday and Saturday. We had farmers market on the farm. We used to call it the Beejom Upaj Mandi, and we started packaging there. We started selling there. We had a shop on the farm. We had a small cafe. It was just amazing how it all grew. And so our greatest memories and the foundation of our work began there in the Noida farm. Ever grateful for that. It was near the Yamuna, so I always say we began by the Yamuna with Ganga, a horse. As far as we are concerned, the farm can be divided into two phases. Like I always say, one before the floods and one after the floods. The floods was such a big, significant part of our entire farm, because when the floods happened, we actually got displaced to the point that we had no home. All our animals were out on the road. All our fodder and all our medicines and all the supplies and everything was drowned. All the people working on the farm were without any place to stay. And it was only because of the goodwill we had in that place with so many of our friends, our vendors who were around us, who they helped us. The guy who grew our fodder, the guy who supplied us with drinking water, the guy who supplied us with medicines, some locals who had tractors. It was amazing the number of people who came forward to help us. And we had to pull our animals out, and they found us a community center to move our people to. The guy who grew our fodder, he gave us his land for 2 months for no money. He said, please just bring your animals here. And fortunately, it was an enclosed area, and we have about 400 animals, and all of them had to be moved into those lands. And suddenly they were displaced. They didn't have a place to eat. They were out in the rain. It was pouring, and for days they stayed like that, out in the rain, drowned. All of us giving them medical help and feeding them in the open. Our cows and bulls or even our horses are not used to eating in common spaces. So there was a fight for food, and the bulls were all over the place in the land, and to catch them and to be able to medicate them or feed them, it was a real task. There is no describing it. Nothing I say. You have to come to our farm and speak to these wonderful people on the farm, our family, the Bijome family or the Bijome team, to know what happened. And there's nothing I can say, I mean, there's nothing, no words will compensate it when I talk about what they did. They dived into the flood waters, pulled out our animals. And so it's always been, this has become our narrative in our heads a bit about how the floods happened. And then after 3 months, fortunately just before the floods, of course, I think God was really amazing because we bought this land thinking at some point we will slowly move in here. But when the floods happened, there was no choice. And so the whole 6 months went into bringing our animals here, settling them down into an empty land without any sheds, nothing. And eventually, in the last 2 years, from 2023 July to August of 2025, all we have done is settle down. So now finally we have settled down. This is our angan. You can see our beautiful angan. And on my right is all the cow sheds, on my left is the horse sheds, and it's our kitchen. We are home, and we're very, very grateful for this space, and very grateful to restart our journey in a new way, in a fresh way, having learnt a lot from all our experiences, having learnt from where we came, where we were without electricity, where we had no, water, running water, yet we lived there for 10 years. We ran a farm without any of those facilities. And so today we are very experienced, we feel very experienced, we feel very equipped to start all over again, much brighter, much better, and really looking forward. So the last 2 years have been very busy. We have been so busy, first of all, building shelters for our animals. We began simultaneously with both this place and the cow sheds and the horse sheds. And we have a Nandishala, we have a Gaushala, and this Angan space. This Angan space was necessary because in the earlier farm, we had bits and pieces of it in many, many, many shacks. We had a medical room, we had a cafe area, we had kitchens, we had places for people to stay, and we had bathrooms somewhere else. So I think here we just decided to bring it all under one roof. And we also realized that we do need residential spaces because we want people to come here and experience what Bijome is, live here, stay here, go through the day with us. So that's why we also have dorms and rooms. And this is our Angan space today. We have a lovely courtyard, and we have a beautiful stage where we hope to host many conversations, many performances, bring in music, bring in seminars, bring in anything that would make this place liven up. So this is what we've been doing the last 2 years. It's been very hard. We have not only been doing the construction, but meanwhile taking care of the animals while they were not in their homes as well. So now they're all into their houses, and now we are doing our, some more parts of the project are still in flow. But as of now, we are really grateful, we are in.